And warm-up number 11. Is this what's up? Statistics, señorito. Warm-up number 11 says compute the standard deviation and sketch the bell curve. Sketch the bell curve of 9, 5, 7, 2, and 10. I'll give you some time for that. With those numbers, so like that, Priscilla can enlighten us with the first couple steps. Put them in order. So we wrote 2, 5, 7, 9. Did somebody unplug me? Okay. And 10. Pass them on, Priscilla. Next step. Jenny, what do we do next? Find the mean. So that means we add all these and then divide by 5. So this is 19, 26, 27, 28, 33. So it's 33 divided by 5, yes? Who got 6.6? Yes? All right. I am just writing approximately since it's decimal. So we got 2, 5, 7, 9, 10. We subtract 6.6. Bless you. So this should have been negative 4.6, negative 0.4, no, 1.6, sorry. Negative 1.6. This is negative 0.4. And this is 2.4. Oh, this is positive, sorry. Positive. And this is 3.4. Hands if you got up to right there. Yeah, okay. Pass someone, Jenny. What do we do next? Ethan, what do we do next? Close. Squared all of them. All right, so what is 4.6 squared, Giselle? 4.6 times 4.6. 21.16. All right. About 1.6 squared, Mr. Q. 2.56. Yes. Let's go. 0.4 squared is 0.16. 2.4 squared is what, Alex? 2.4 squared. 5.6. 7.6. Okay, 7.6. And 3.4 squared, Alec? 11.56. And again, we need to find the mean again, which is called what? The squared standard deviation. All right. Tell your neighbor what you got for the squared standard deviation. See what they got, and then we'll have Angel enlighten us with that amount. All right, what'd you get for that, Angel? So all these divided by 5, it should have given us 8 point something. 8.24. All right. And of course, that's not what we need. We need what? Standard deviation. What is square root of that, Angel? 2.7? 2.87. All right. So now that we have our what? Our mean, and we have our standard deviation. Can we make a bell curve with that? Yes, Mr. Q. All right. So then here's our bell curve, nice and straight like mine. There it is. It's kind of crooked, isn't it? Let's see. Better? Let's go. So the mean right here is 6.6, yes? So if we go one standard deviation up, tell your neighbor where we're at that point, please. What is it? Yeah, 2.87 plus 6.6. So that gives us 7, 14, 9. Is it 9.47 approximately? Yes. How about one standard deviation below? Below, where are we at now? 6.6 minus 2.87. 3.73. Brianna, let's go. All right, and highlight the center right here. Tell you what that means. What does that mean? That is called the what? The norm. Norm. Norm or the normal range. All right? All right? Pretty good, pretty good. Give me a second. And you guys sent me your warm-up already. Thank you. Here goes the agenda. Copy this, please. My goodness. There it is. Copy that. Warm-up number 11, proportions and percents. Home play only 9 problems tonight, and then copy the Nearpod code for tonight. No prayer model today. All right, once again, the agenda for today is warm-up number 11, proportions and percents. Home play, 9 problems only. You should have copied the Nearpod code for you to get that home play tonight for DCSZ. For DCSZ. All right? And today's session is going to go pretty quick, like this. Watch. All right? Telling you. So, today's recap of something you should have learned in 5th grade, 7th grade, Algebra 1. It's basically percents. But I'm also going to be touching into proportions because it's something that's needed for tonight's home play. Check out the home play for tonight. Oh, yeah, we got some work problems and some stuff to set up as proportions. So make sure you get that from your Nearpod code. All right, so here we go. Our objective for today, I can solve multi-step one-variable equations, proportions, and compute percents. So today within the umbrella of one-variable equations, we're going to be solving for percents and multi-step equations involving word problems. But I'm going to break it down, like I said, as much as I can so you can just pick up where you left off from when you first learned this. So, like I said, it's going to go pretty fast. Therefore, everybody go like this really quick. Bear with me, yes, because it's going to go like expeditiously. Oh, yeah, picking up the vocabulary, sorry. All right, so here we go. I can solve multi-step one-variable equations. Do we need a fair model? No. You should already know this stuff, one-variable equations. But just to recap, here it goes. Look up to the screen. What are one-variable equations? Don't copy this. They are statements where 2 expressions are equal to one another, and they contain one unknown variable. Once again, 2 expressions equal to each other, one unknown variable. Here's the examples. Look up. Expression, expression, one variable. Expression, expression, one variable. Expression, expression, one variable. Expression, expression, one variable. Expression, expression, one variable, and so on and so forth. They're equal to one another. So, non-examples. Look at each of those and tell your neighbor why those are not one variable equations. Why are those not one variable equations? So I heard somewhere this one does not have an equal sign. That means this is an expression. This has an inequality symbol. That means this is an inequality. This one does have an equal sign, does have one variable, but it has an exponent of what? 2. That means we have 2 different types of solutions on this one, and this one has 2 different types of variables. So we know all that. We got it. Okay? Steps that we used to use: simplify, isolate, plot, check. Some of you might ring a bell with that. Yes? Simplify, isolate, plot, check. Right? Ethan, right? Ethan, you good? Guys, when I'm going through this, stay off those computers, please. This is going to go fast. My goodness. Or I'm going to send Giselle to slap people around, my goodness. Here we go. So, here goes some terms. Ready? It's going to go fast, so stay focused. The first term is known as a ratio. As a what? Ratio. That's where we get fractions from. So check this out. Ratio can be written in 3 different ways. Pay attention, please. In words, A to B. In symbols, A to B. Or in a fraction form, A to B. All of those are 3 different ways of writing a what? A ratio. But overall, the word ratio reminds me of fraction. That's what it means, fraction. What does ratio mean? Fraction. Ratio means, all right, so therefore, if I was to say 2 to 3, how else can I write that? 2 to 3. Or, fraction form, 2 to 3. Those are the 3 different ways. Are we there? Let me give you another one. 7 to 9. Tell your neighbor the fraction form of that. All right, we got it, yes? All right, good. Look up. So that's ratio. Next term, proportion. Basically, here goes, fraction equal to another fraction. Proportion is what? Fraction equal to another fraction. Ratio, only one fraction. Proportion, fraction equal to another fraction. Third term, rate. Rate, for especially those of you that are starting to drive, you've seen miles per hour. Is that correct? 2 different measurements, 1 fraction. Here it goes again. A ratio is what? 2 different measurements, 1 fraction. Let me repeat that again. A ratio is 2 different measurements, 1 fraction. Okay? Let's see. It says here 34 miles for 2 gallons. So if somebody was driving a big truck, it's only going to give you 17 miles per gallon. If I was to reduce it to a what? A unit rate. A rate is just 2 quantities, 1 fraction. Unit rate is reducing it to lowest terms. Are we there so far? All right. Tell your neighbor what a ratio is: a proportion, a rate, and a unit rate. All right. We good? Do we ask anybody for the stuff, or we got it? You got it? Alex, you got it? All right. So with that said, look up to the screen. Here goes the first example. Don't copy this. Let me pause the music. I'm going to go very slow on this one, and then you're going to do one just like it. And it reads, example 1A, the ratio of a number of bones in a human ears to the number of bones in the skull is, how do you read this? 3 to 11. So like ratio, what does the word ratio remind me of? 1 fraction. Okay. So let me make that into a fraction. So you're just paying attention. You're not copying this. Here it goes. Can I write this as a fraction? Yes. 3 to 11. Now, to get organized, I'm going to use colors to see which number belongs to which bones. So here it says, I'll start with red. The ratio of number of bones in the human what? Ears to the number of bones in what? In skull. So which one was mentioned first? And second? skull. So these numbers correspond to that. Which one should I underline in red? And then the other one in green. So that's keeping me organized. So this is green, and this is red. Now let me tell you why. Because we need to set up a proportion given the information that they give us. We need to set up a what? Proportion. What is a proportion? A fraction equal to another fraction. So where did we write the bones in the ears? On the numerator. And the bones in the skull? Denominator. So let me continue reading. There are 22 bones in the skull. So where would I write that number? Tell your neighbor, please. Where do I write that number? Ethan. Close. Which is the color for the skull? The green, so we're going to write 22 on the bottom. So what do we write on the top, Mr. Q? We write the letter X so we can solve our proportion. Now, for those of you that remember, look up. How do we solve proportions? Cross multiply. This is 11x equals to 66, and the rest is history. Divide by 11, x equals 6, and then we need to answer the question. How many bones are in the ears? There are 6 bones in the ears when 22 bones in the skull. 10 cubed. From 1 to 10, from 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with these? Okay, so here it goes again. When they start off asking us for a ratio, we set up our first fraction. Then we set it equal to a proportion. Cross multiply, solve, and then we write our statement. Copy this next one, please. Example 1B. And it reads, write that down, please, the whole thing. Somebody said earlier, we write the words? Yes, write everything. My goodness. The ratio of red marbles to green marbles is 6 to 5. There are 18 red marbles. How many green marbles are there? Set up your proportion, solve, and write me a statement. And let me send you the screen so you can send me your work as soon as you're done. And go. All right, good sharing. All right, help us out, Brianna. What would be our proportion to get started with? 6 to 5 equals to 18 over x. Times, have you got that? That is correct. Cross multiply, that is 6x equals to 90. Once again, if you're not getting the location correct, remember to use colors. Here it goes. It says red marbles to what? To green. So which one was mentioned first? Red. That means that the 6 is red and the 5 is what? Green. Yes? So therefore, 18 red go on top. That's why you wrote 18 on top, and the other one is x. All right. So therefore, this is divide by 6. X equals 15. And of course, your statement, yes? 10 cubed. From 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with this? 5, 5, 5. We got this, yes? Is it coming back for some of you? Yes? All right. Send me your stuff, and I'm going to continue. Don't copy this one. Look up. So we know how to solve this one. Tell your neighbor what to do. Don't copy it. Cross multiply. 3 times m is 3m equals to 45. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. M equals 15. All right. So therefore, copy this next one. Example 2b. Negative 5 over 2 equals y equals 8. Send me your work as soon as you're done. All right, help me with this one. Emilio, go. What do I do? So I write and divide by 2. So y equals negative 20. Hands, have you got that? All right, copy this next one. Example 3a. Now, it said on the previous one, it said check. We know how to check, right? We substitute into the original equation to see if it's actually true. If it's proportionate, yes. It says solve the proportion. 6 over y minus 3 equals 2 over 7. Tell your neighbor the first thing you're going to do for that one. Then we'll have Natalie get us started. All right? Looks like Jeremy's got it also. Very good. Natalie, what do I do? Cross multiply? Yeah, we have a fraction equal to a fraction, so we cross multiply. Remember, start with a variable first. So I'm going to multiply the 2 times these 2. So this is what? 2y minus 6 equals 42. Yes? And the rest is history. Plus 6 plus 6. 2y equals 48. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Y equals 24. From 1 to 5, I'll come to you with this. All right, we got this. All right, here goes another one on your screen. Copy that one, do that one by yourself. Example 3b. G plus 3 over 5 equals 7 over 4. Copy and go. All right, good conversation. Get us started, please. Jeremy, what do I do? All right, so what do I write? 4G plus 12 equals 35. Hands, have you got that? And the rest is history. Minus 12 minus 12. 4G equals 23, Michael Jordan. Divide by 4, divide by 4. G equals 5.75. Hands, have you got that? Let's go. All right, so like I said, it's going pretty fast, pretty quick, but I think we got this. Let me pause the music. We're going into the next section, which involves now setting up from word problems, okay? So I need you to stay focused with this. Here it goes. Look up to the screen. Writing utensils down. Here it goes. Now it's going to get into a little bit more of elaborating on word problems, and it reads, Ralph Lau of Germany flipped a pancake 416 times in 120 seconds to set the world record. And it says, find the unit rate, which means I need to first set up a rate so that I can get a unit rate. So let me set up my rate. What is my rate? 416 over what? 120. So I write 416 over 120. Just pay attention. You'll do one on by yourself. Give me a second. And I need to reduce that to lowest terms. Now, question. Here it goes. He flipped a pancake 416 times in 120 seconds. Which one becomes the unit, the 1? The 416 or the 120? Talk it over with your neighbor, let them know which one becomes the 1. Yeah, we want to know how many times they flipped it and how many what? Seconds. So that the seconds becomes 1. That means the other one would be our what? Our x. So check this out. Same thing. Cross multiply. 120x equals to 416. Divide by 120. Divide by 120 for the sake of time. X is approximately 3.4 flips. So I need to write my statement. What does it say? Round to the nearest 100. So I would write Ralph flipped the pancake 3.4 times in 1 second. 10Q. All right, do me a favor. Look up. Go like this. Ready? With your hand. Go. 3 times. Go. Fast. 1, 2. Okay. Imagine 3.4 times in 1 second. If you do that again in 1 second. 1 Mississippi. That's fast, isn't it? For the world record. Anyways, from 1 to 5, how comfortable are you setting up rates and unit rates? Rates and unit rates. 5, okay? Here's one for you. Copy this one. It says, example 4B, Corey earns $52.50 in 7 hours. Corey earns $52.50 in 7 hours. Don't copy the instructions since we already know what they're asking. Be nice. My goodness. Yeah, and Corey is 3 years old. He earns $52.50 in 7 hours. Some of you are like, where does he work? Oh, my goodness. All right, so find the unit rate and write me a statement, please. Go. All right, set us up, Elias. What do I write? It's what? 52.50 over 7 equals X over 1. Hands, have you got something like that? Yeah, the rest is history. Cross multiply. 7x equals 52.50. Divide by 7. We end up with x equals 750. Yes? Statement. Tell your neighbor your statement. What did you write? Let's go. What'd you write? Corey earns $7.50 an hour. 10Q. Hands, have you got something like that? All right. So from 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with proportions and word problems of those? Yes? 5, 5. We got this. Is it a good review? Yes. Did it come back? Yes. All right. Next. Now we're moving on to percentages. Ready? For some of you, this is a section that might have given you problems in the past, so stay focused. Here it goes. I like to break it down using terms. So percent. Percent is a compound word, yes? You guys heard it before, yes? Yeah, so percent is made out of 2 words. The first one is per. What does per mean? It means multiply by or times. Symbol use, a dot. I'm going to use a dot, big dot for multiplication, okay? The second part you've heard before, cent. You guys seen that before, yes? Some of you throw them away because you're like, come on, Q, 1 cent. One time, here goes a quick story. One time I went to Mexicali to buy some tacos. Then I got to the border to make line. So then they were asking for money. So I just got the change that I had in the little cubby hole, and I just gave them the money. Like, it was a bunch. I would say it was like, I don't know, like $5 or so, just in change. So as I was driving away, you know, they were like, oh, thank you. And all of a sudden I just see them that they're like throwing away coins. I'm like, what? And then I like from the back, I started thinking they were throwing away the pennies. I was like, wow. Can you believe that? I'm like, no. So anyways, cent, how can we write that in decimal? 0.01. How can we write that in fraction? 1 out of 100. Yes? So what does percent mean? It means times 1/100. Percent means what? Times 1/100. So if I was to say 25%, what does that mean? 25 times 1/100, which makes the fraction 25 over 100. Yes? All right. So that's a quick intro to percent. However, where I want to go is here. Look up. Look at this proportion. I want you to write the second one here, the one that says is over of percent over 100. Write that one down, please. Keep it on the top corner of your paper because we're going to be using that right now. This one right here, this proportion. Is over of percent over 100. Is over of percent over 100. All right? So, with that said, one side is the amounts, the other side is the percentages. I'm going to be using this to set up my proportions. So, writing utensils down, look up to the screen. Let me pause the tunes in the back. Look up to the screen, please, and it reads, example 5A. Find 30% of 80. Some of us are really good at just changing in our brain to decimal and multiplication, but I'm showing you using a proportion. Here it goes. Anytime you get a percentage, write this proportion down right away, and that's going to get you started. But first, pay attention. Here it goes. What was the proportion I asked you to write? Is over of equals what? Percent over 100. So according to this problem, they gave us a what? A percent. Where does that one go? Above the 100. What else do they give us? Of 80. Where does the of go? On the bottom of this proportion right here. So I write 80. So what shall I write here? X. So then cross multiply. That is 100x equals 2400. Divide by 100. Divide by 100. X equals 24. Copy that, please. All right, let's do one together. Here we go. Example 5B. Copy this one. 230 is what percent of 200? Copy that, please. Example 5B. 230 is what percent of 200? All right, here we go. First thing I do, me, Mr. Q, I write over here on the side is over of equals percent over 100. Okay, so then I write blank over blank, bless you, equals blank over 100. Okay, here we go. 230 is, tell your neighbor where I write that one. Where do I write that one? Above the first fraction, so it's 230. Okay. Of 200, tell your neighbor where to write that one. In the denominator where the of goes, so 200. So that means over here we write what? X. Cross multiply, that's 200x equals 230 with two zeros. Divide by 200, divide by 200. X equals, let me get up some zeros. So 230 divided by 2, that's 115. 115 what? Yeah, percent. Make sure you label that. There it is. Yes? See how it's working? Yes? All right. Let's do another one. Copy this one. Example 5C. See, let's see if you can do that one by yourself. 20 is 0.4% of what number? 20 is 0.4% of what number? All right, I think we got it. Let's see. Serena's going to help us set it up. Serena, tell me what to write. 20 over x. 20 over x equals 0.4 over 100. Hands, have you got that? That is correct. Cross multiply. 0.4x equals 2,000. Yes? All right, so therefore divide by 0.4, divide by 0.4. So let's see. 2,000 divided by 0.4. Who knows this trick that to get rid of the decimal, you move it over to the right? Add a 0. Yes? So it's 4 into 20,000. It's in there 5 times for the 20. 3 zeros. Answer, x equals 5,000. Hands, have you got that? All right, send me that, please. So, percents, from 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with percents? Yeah, it's coming back, yes? One last one. Copy this one. What? We still have 2 minutes. Late for what? Then you should be quick doing this one. 20% of 60. 20% of 60. You can go ahead and log out. Do that one on your own. All right, help us with a proportion. Georgia, what do I write? $20 over 100 equals x over 60. Hands, have you got something like that? That is correct. Cross multiply. 100x equals to 1,200. divide by 100, divide by 100, x equals 12. Hands, have you got that? Let's go, let's go. Oh yeah, we got this. All right, so I'm going to stop the video right there. Once again, if you need to revisit the lesson, it's going to be up there after school. Enjoy your home play. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.